Yes, guys, welcome to Real Reacts. We are here. This is the place to catch all my reactions, raw reactions to all transfers, any news that's going on in football. We get it delivered to you here. All the WhatsApp groups are buzzing. It comes straight through here, filtered or unfiltered if you want. So listen, man. First up, we've got movement at Manchester United. Obviously, Bryan Mbeumo's come in now. Arsenal, Cunha's been in. Marcus Rashford is out of the club. He's gone to Barcelona. I want to shout out Marcus Rashford. I want to say good luck to Marcus Rashford. I think a lot's been said about him and the way he's left the football club, etc. But one thing I would say is you want someone who's come through the academy at Manchester United and been here a very long time to find his feet and go and do well somewhere. And he's at Barcelona. It's a wonderful place to play football, a huge club. And if you can get it right there, then listen, the world will be his oyster. So good luck to Marcus. But even more good luck to someone like Bryan Mbeumo who's coming into Manchester United and is part of the future of the football club. So I want to see what he's got to offer. Delivered in so many ways, in so many positive ways, with goals and goal involvements for Brentford. So I hope that continues in a Man United shirt. Different pressure, different environment, I know. But I'd like to think that he can continue in that rich vein of form he showed last season. And that leaves four players that are in the kind of the bomb squad at Man United. You've got Garnacho, you've got Malacia, you've got Antony, and you've got Sancho. So let's wait and see where they go. And I think their outcomes in terms of their transfer, they're going to have a huge impact on any new incoming players. We heard Fabrizio Romano talk about that before. And he says, Man United do plan to buy a striker, but outgoings will be key for the budget. So we know when Fabrizio speaks, it's near enough the truth. So that means them four players, if they go and they bring in some good money, Man United's ability to bring players in of maybe a bigger stature, but also a bigger price tag, will mean hopefully we get one of the guys who I may mention later on in this piece. But I'm going to go into it now. We're there. We've had some big names being floated about, and I think Sesko was talked about of going to Arsenal from Leipzig. I think he's a young striker. You look at him and you go, okay, you understand why his name will be on the list. But he's going to be 70 or 80 million as well. Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea. And I think he's got he's got a bad rap here, And I think he's been quite unlucky. His stats in terms of players coming in for their first season at Chelsea match up to anybody. Drogba, all of them. He done really well last year. He's a nuisance. I would argue that he'd be one of the players in most centre-backs, top 3 or 4 players who they found hardest to play against last year. I don't think he's an easy day's work for anybody. Yes, he's got a lot to do, a lot to clean up on in terms of his finishing. He's not clean in his all-round play. But he's a nuisance. And you've got Isak, who's somebody who looks like he's not going on tour now with Newcastle. Looks like he's kind of rejected that. He wants to get out, wants to look at some options about leaving the football club. So it's difficult. And I think if Man United can't move those 4 players, then they're going to have to start looking at players below that level of player in terms of transfer fee. And the names that we're talking about there are like Ollie Watkins, who I think would be a very, very good addition to the Man United squad. Last season, 17 goals, 14 assists in 54 appearances. He's 29 years old. That's the only drawback for Man United. There's going to be no real sell-on value, which I understand is an issue, but I think you've got to look at here and now at the moment with Man United. That's why I said about a number 9. Gyökeres, I think, I'm not really doubting him as a player. Sesko, the same. I'm not really doubting them players as actual football players. I'm saying Man United need experience at the top of the pitch. They've got Højlund, they've got Xerxes, they've got Cheetah. Young, inexperienced players. They need someone to look at and go, that's how you play as a number 9. That's how you do it. And I think when you're going to buy somebody who's hasn't got as much experience as I'd like, I think that's another risk. Is it worth taking with inexperienced players at this level? So I think Ollie Watkins will be a very good addition for the younger ones in that squad to look at and go, yeah, that's a benchmark of someone who knows how to play the role. Consistently, he's done it in the top level for the last few years. Scored goals, Champions League football as well. But just let me know what you think about the Man United strikers situation, because and if the club end up with a low budget, who would you go for? And if they sold all them 4 players that are in the bond squad and the budget's high, who are you going to go for, guys? Let us know in the comments. We will get back to you and we'll talk about it. But another one I keep seeing mentioned is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I don't see that one happening at the Man United, given he's mainly because of his injury record. When you've had so many injuries as he's had and his lack of form over the last couple of years, I think it's difficult. I think you look at last season, three goals, 1 assist in 26 appearances, 28 years old. Is that really the type of form that you think that Man United are going to be sitting there licking the lips at? I don't think so. And it's not to say I don't think he's a good player, because when he's fit and when he was flying a couple of years ago, he would have been a problem. But we haven't seen that form. He's run out of form. So good luck to him getting that back. But let me know what you think, guys. I just think, would I be happy Man United going into the season as we are now? No. I want one more. I'm being greedy. I want one more. I want a striker. If I don't get a striker, I'd go midfield. And you're probably thinking, who would we go and get? Who would you go and get? There's only one name I'm really thinking about. I've got to be honest, guys. Who I think fits the bill as to what we need. An Amorim type player as well. Physically great. Can drive with the ball. Can take it in all areas. Very good tactically. Great energy. Great legs. Premier League experience. Centre midfield. Baleba. That's what I'll go and get. That's my man. That's the one I go and get. I go and break the bank. So if I've got the money for the 4 players that have surplus to requirements now, would I go and get a number 9 or would I go and get Baleba? Would I get a number 9 I'm not sure about, who's a bit young, inexperienced, or would I get Baleba with Premier League experience? Know what he can do here. I'm going Baleba. Sorry. I'm going to go Baleba. That's what I'll get. I think it'll have a huge impact on this squad, on this team. It'll free up a few people in that midfield area as well to have a little less responsibility defensively, because I think he's an all-action, can do it all. We've digressed, guys. We've digressed. I was only talking about strikers, really, but Baleba is just... And Brighton fans won't be happy I'm saying this. I love him. I do. So, let's see. Away from Man United, and guys, I just want to talk about... everyone knows who watches the podcast knows that there's a different energy about me when I'm talking about young players. I was the same with Kobbie Mainoo in the Euros. Saka, Foden when they first broke on the scene. Cole Palmer. Lamine Yamal, obviously. Doué. Great young players who just get you off your seat. You just watch and you go, oh, yeah, give me some more of that. This player played 1 pre-season game. I spoke about it in November on the podcast, by the way. If you don't believe me, go back and have a look. I probably spoke about him a bit before that as well, because I've seen him before as a young kid. Max Dowman. Don't forget that name, guys. Max Dowman. Hale End, Arsenal have produced another young gem. They've got Antony coming through too, but I think this season could be his breakout year, proper breakout year. I hope it will be. They've already had Saka a few years ago now, who seems like an elder statesman in this change room now. And there's 15-year-olds knocking about like Max Dowman, who, for me, I've got to say, guys, I mean, he's become one of the youngest Arsenal players to appear for the club in a pre-season friendly in Singapore against AC Milan, by the way. Not no minnows, against AC Milan. And if you haven't seen the clip, I'd advise you to go online, just have a little look, go online. It's early days, but it looks like Declan Rice has taken him under his wing. Posted a picture up yesterday today with him on the coach travelling about. He's definitely the best 15-year-old in the country, probably in Europe right now, maybe the world. Best 15-year-old. And I keep seeing people saying, "Oh, don't hype and don't this." What are we in football for? What are we here for? We're here to be entertained. We're here to get excited about young talent. We're here to talk about it. We're here to love it. We're here to appreciate it. Yeah. We're not putting expectations on his name. I'm not saying he's got to play 10 games. He's got to play this. He's got to score 5 goals. He's got to score 10 goals. No. I'm just saying, I love it. I want to see this. I want to see the young players coming out, man. I want to go and see, look at the clips in the FA Youth Cup game last year against Man United at Old Trafford, what this kid was doing. He is a joke. And what I'm hearing from Arsenal, in the Arsenal camp, from some of the people that I know there, is that he is transferring his 15-year-old ability that he showed with the under-18s, with Arsenal, with England, playing years up, with the under-21s, and shifting that into the first team when he's training with the first team. And the players are going like, whoa. The coaching staff there are going like, well, I ain't really seen this type of like, he's just quite bothered. He's not really, he's just, yeah, man, this is me. And transferring that from the young ages into the first team is ridiculous. So long may this continue. And I hope we're talking more and more about Max Darman as the season goes on. And special shout out also to Ethan Nnueri. I want to see more game time. Please, Mikel Arteta, play these kids because I think they're good enough. He knows he's going to know them because he sees them more than me. But I'm just begging that he can give these kids more game time while trying to win the Premier League, which I know is difficult, and that's a sticking point. But when there's talent, it's undeniable sometimes. And I think these two boys are undeniable talents. So let's go. Well, listen, I want to say thanks, guys, because I'm going on tour. I've got to love you and leave you. I'm going to go. I'm catching up with the Man United team on tour. So I'm going to get out there to the States. I think I'm going to New York, Chicago. I'm going to just be jumping out there and seeing what's going on. I want to see how the team are trained. I want to see how the fibers are moving. I want to see the sweat. I want to see them getting drilled. I want to see them overworking. I want to see their lungs busting out, ready for the new season. Who's looking sharp? Young players. Who's fitting in, mixing in with the seniors. So I'll be feeding back to you guys. Also, loads of good stuff's going to be going on around it. And have you seen me and Wayne on our little tour of America? Guys, it was jokes. So make sure you keep tuning in, stay tuned, and we'll bring you the tour right to your eyes through this YouTube channel, Rio Presents. Thanks, guys, for listening to this episode of Rio Reacts. Hope you've enjoyed this show. And if you have, make sure you leave us a review and follow this Rio Ferdinand Presents feed to make sure you never, ever miss an episode. If you've got a point you think we should be discussing or want to put us on the spot with a question you want answering, get in touch using the fansfirst@rioferdinandpresents.com email address or use #RFP on social. See ya on the next one.